In Northeast Asia of 2026, the taut string of diplomatic tension finally snaps, pushing South Korea and Japan across a point of no return. South Korea, boasting the world's 5th largest firepower, and Japan, the absolute master of maritime defense, enter a total war, risking their national fates. This is a grim virtual record of modern warfare, where power proven by numbers clashes as actual flames. In a scenario involving a landing on the peninsula or a ground confrontation, the majesty of the ROK Army is truly like a forest of steel. The roar of diesel engines from thousands of K2 Black Panther tanks vibrates the earth as they advance. The Japan Ground Self-Defense Force attempts ambushes and delaying tactics, utilizing the agility of their state-of-the-art Type 10 tanks. However, the desperate numerical inferiority of 4-1 is a wall that cannot be overcome by the performance of individual equipment alone. In particular, South Korea's 9th Thunder Artillery Corps rains down fire from tens of kilometers away, devastating the Japanese defensive lines without pause. The confrontation on the ground is a stage where the ROK Army's overwhelming mass and firepower ruthlessly shatter Japan's sophisticated shield. As the battlefield shifts to the deep blue sea, the situation flips 180 degrees, bringing a massive trial to the Korean forces. The Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force launches F-35B stealth fighters from the light carrier Izumo, completely seizing maritime air superiority. The radars of Japanese Aegis destroyers detect objects hundreds of kilometers away, blocking the approach of the Korean fleet like an iron wall. Realizing the disadvantage of a head-on collision, the ROK Navy activates its asymmetric assets hidden beneath the dark waters. Dosan Ahn Chang-ho class submarines penetrate Japan's anti-submarine surveillance net and silently open their missile silos. Naval warfare unfolds as a fierce and suffocating game of chess between Japan's solid maritime fortress and the Korean submarines aiming for the cracks. The Japan Air Self-Defense Force attempts a preemptive strike, leveraging its AWACS superiority, but this time, the situation is vastly different. The ROK Air Force immediately scrambles its own squadron of F-35A stealth fighters, engaging in a deadly, invisible game of hide-and-seek with their Japanese counterparts. As Japanese fighters attempt to approach the Korean peninsula to secure missile range, the ground wakes up. Instantly, South Korea's Cheongung-II KMSAM batteries and the long-range LSAM radars waiting on the surface lock onto the enemy jets. The world's most densely constructed air defense network instills a fear in Japanese pilots that entry guarantees death, effectively denying them access. As the stealth battle in the sky falls into a stalemate, Korea deploys its heavy hitter monsters, the F-15K Slam Eagles. Carrying heavy payloads like the Taurus missile, the F-15Ks unleash a barrage of long-range air-to-ship missiles at the Japanese fleet from outside the danger zone where air superiority is contested. Ultimately, the air war becomes a head-on collision between Japan's intelligence superiority and Korea's ground-to-air denial capabilities, turning the skies over the peninsula into a no-man's sky where no one can fly freely. However, regardless of conventional advantages or disadvantages, the South Korean military holds a joker that can instantly overturn the tide of war. From ground silos and mobile launchers tell, the ROK military's strategic Hyunmoo missile series soars into the sky, spewing massive flames. These missiles pierce the atmosphere and descend at Mach speeds, pinpoint targeting Japan's key air bases and command centers. Even the interception systems Japan boasts of are insufficient to stop all of the Korean missile barrage pouring down like rain. This overwhelming missile power directly threatens the Japanese mainland, regardless of the front lines, paralyzing their ability to sustain the war. Ultimately, South Korea balances the scales of war with a porcupine strategy, assuring that if touched, the opponent will also face destruction. The conclusion shown by the data and the scenario is clear. South Korea holds an unbreakable, sharp spear missiles, ground forces, while Japan holds an indestructible, solid, shield navy, intelligence. If these two nations collide, there will be no side planting a flag of victory, only irrevocable scars and ruins remaining.